Alright, so let's trade the Betfair pre-race horse markets. I make these videos here to illustrate one key point. If you want to be a successful trader, you have to learn the basics. You have to understand why you're making mistakes. You have to understand why the markets are moving against you. And you have to start with small stakes. Because if you cannot trade profitably with £2 stakes or £10 stakes, you will never be able to trade with £50 stakes or £100 stakes. So if you're a beginner, you have to start small and you have to understand how and why the market moves, all right? So I trade live, so I do hum and haw, and I do miss certain opportunities because trading live and recording and talking to you is difficult, okay? But I do my best to try and illustrate to you why the market moves and how it moves, okay? So we'll jump in now and do some trading. Okay, so we're at Kempton. I'm using £10 stakes as always, and we'll have a look at this market here to see if we can make some profit. Okay, so you can see the favourite is coming in. Second favourite is about to cross the 3 mark there, and the other horses are not really in contention at all, so the price will be reflected in the first favourite and the second favourite. They are going to bounce off each other. So these types of races here, you can see, there's quite a large traded range here. The incremental price points are very small, so the profits are smaller, and these markets tend to move a lot further than because you can see the traded range here is quite long. So when you enter this, you do need to be a little bit careful. But you can see here, the second favourite has been drifting out, the favourite's been coming in. So you do need to question how long that will keep going. So at the end of the day, you need to follow the money. At the moment, I'm looking at some other charts, and I can see that there's a lot of money coming in now for the favourites. Okay. So at this point, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit and wait. And I'm probably waiting until the 5-minute mark, purely because that's when all the big traders come in. So I'll wait and see how this goes. So at the moment, there is continued support here now for the favourite. I'm watching this 2.5k right here, and if that starts increasing, that I will be jumping on the backside here with the assumption that's going to keep coming in. And to confirm this, I'm keeping an eye on the second favourite. If it starts to drift out, then that will be my go signal to back the favourite here. So like I said, at the moment, all I can do is really wait and see what happens here. So I'm watching the matched bets here. So you can see that's a huge chunk there come in. So I'm going to pop in there with a £40 stake, and I'm going to put in 2 closing positions here to try and offset that. So at the moment, I'm not going to panic. So if this goes against me 1 or 2 ticks, I'm not going to freak out. I'm going to put my stop loss up here. And if it hits that, it hits it. Okay, I'm not going to be too bothered. Okay, because sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. So right now, I'm looking at the second favourite and the favourite. I need to see backing money coming in for the favourite, and I want to see that the second favourite is going to start drifting out. So fast forwarding a few more minutes here, you can see a second favourite has now drifted off past the 3 mark, and there's continued support for the favourite, and my first exit point has been taken. At this point, the 5-minute mark has been crossed, so at this point there will be a lot more activity coming in. But again, at this point, I'm not going to panic. I'm going to wait and see what happens here. Basically, I obviously want to see the second favourite continue to stay above the 3 mark here. However, as I'm talking now, I can see there's a lot more money coming in now for the second favourite. You can see there's a £5,000 stake come in. So at this point here, I need to be a bit more careful. You can see there's continued support now for the second favourite. The favourite is now flying out and hit my stop loss. Okay. Now that's exactly why you have the stop loss. As you can see that I was literally in a fraction of a second, and it just shoots off. Okay. So it's very important you use stop losses in this situation here. So at this point here, I need to make a decision, right? I'm £2 in the loss. It looks like the market has now changed around a bit, and it might be that the second favourite is now going to keep coming in. and from what I'm seeing on the charts here, there's continued money coming in for the second favourite. So I'm probably going to jump in here on the 3 mark with another £40 stake to try and offset this loss here. And again, as always, when I enter a trade, I'm now looking for confirmation on the favourite that it's going to start drifting. So obviously that's what I'm looking for, and I'm also looking for the money to come in for the second favourite. And now, as the market is now very, very settled, I can start scalping out here as well, because it's very likely it's going to settle down now around the 3 mark. As the market looks like now, it's almost £500,000 matched. The market tends to be a bit more solid in terms of the speed of the movement, and the second favourite there is at the top of his range. It's not gone above this, so you can see that both my trades have been taken straight away. So I'll do that again, because this is very likely to continue. And equally, you can also see the favourite here is settling down at this price point here, like 25, 26,000. It's all being matched here. So now I'm quite happy to just keep scalping here now. We'll see how this goes here. And obviously at this point I will be keeping an eye on how they line up to see if that, because that will obviously affect the price as well. So really, at this point, the best case scenario for me is I just have, I managed to recover that £2 loss I had in the first place. So you can see that's been matched again, so I'll do the same again. And you can see there that my first exit has been taken. I'll put another one there, and I'll probably put the next one here, just to get out at this point, because the horses are now lining up, and that is going to affect the price depending on how they line up. And I'd rather just get out of this now. But as I said, at this point, the horse I'm trading right here is at the front, which is a good thing. So I can quite comfortably start scalping here now, because the price is very likely to keep coming in a little bit. So that's number 3. Okay. So at this point, that's probably going to get taken as well. That's all good. What I'll do here is I'll cash that off there, as there. And now you can see we're at a 15p loss, okay, which is not a big deal. So this is a good example of when something goes wrong. You basically recalibrate. Okay, you reread the market and re-enter it on a completely neutral basis. Okay. It was unfortunate that our stop loss got hit, but that's why I put it in, because I knew, as I described at the beginning, that the traded range was huge. These types of horses, when there's 2 short price favourites, they do move really fast, because then there's a lot of money being put in the market, and that's exactly why I put it in there, because I knew that I probably wouldn't react in time. So at this point, I'm not going to trade more. The horses they're good to go. They're off in a few seconds. But this one here is just an example of where the 2 things here. I used the stop loss for the simple reason that I knew if it went against me, I probably would not have time to react. And also because I knew that if it went against me, there was a very good chance that this price could have shot off up into the 2 6s, 2 7s, 2 8s within literally 4 or 5 seconds, okay? Because it has happened before. And so that's why I used them. And also, I knew that, equally it could have easily gone the other way. It could have easily come down to the 2s here, and that could have been a nice profit. But in these situations, it's just important to understand that when you make a mistake, it's not a big deal, because you're always going to make a mistake at some point, because the money determines where the market goes. But I recalibrated, changed my focus onto the second favourite, who was at the top of his range. And I just read the market again as I saw it, okay? And you can see by doing that, I very quickly recovered from my loss without overstaking, without chasing my losses, without doing anything silly. And I can just regroup and move on to the next race, okay? So this is the kind of thing that you will learn inside trading on Betfair. So click on the link below and jump in and check out the course, and hopefully it will help you out.